What's up, y'all? It's your boy Beeman, aka Beantastic, aka The Back, and we back with another Tell the Truth Tuesday. And on this Tuesday, I'm gonna talk to y'all about fear and how I think it hurts society in a lot of ways, and it hurts a lot of individuals in a lot of ways. The first fear I want to tackle is the fear of believing. I feel like a lot of people believe out of fear. They believe because they don't want to go to hell. They believe because they don't want to let their mother and father down. They believe because they worried about how society would judge them for not believing. It's weird, but fear controls people that way. And when people fear something, it's a control mechanism. And when you're taught to fear something, you're being taught or you're being controlled in a sense. And I see that playing a role in a lot of people that may think how I think or feel the way I feel, but out of fear, they won't say anything. Out of fear, they won't do anything. They won't stop living this life just because they fear of what's going to happen to them. Just like in relationships, I think the biggest fear is being alone. A lot of people are together and suffering failed relationships because they fear being alone. They don't want to be alone. They can fathom being alone, so they either fuck people just to have somebody around or engage in pointless conversations just to say they got somebody to talk to just because they don't want to be left alone with their voice inside their own head to deal with things. The government, fear. They operate out of fear. They don't operate in your best interest. They operate on how they can scare you the best. And I always feel like that the people should never be scared of their government. The government should always be scared of its people because we are the government. As much as we give them power out of fear, we simply just don't realize that we are behind everything as citizens in America. We decide everything in America. They can tell us to do whatever, but it's still us as the citizens that have to go forth with those actions. And I'm talking about our troops. Our troops are citizens. Let's not ever forget that. And people think, well, they can just send the army here or send the Navy here. At the end of the day, that's still a citizen that operating out of fear in himself. He don't want to not follow a command. He don't know the consequences of not following that command or that order. So out of fear, he's going to follow it to death just because he's been brainwashed in that way to feel that way, that the government is right, that his commanding officer is right. So I think a lot of people operate out of fear just because it's a safe way to operate. When you move from that scary place and realize fear is not real and move into the actual world of living without fear, then you will see that nothing can really hold you back. And another big fear that a lot of people face is financial fear. A lot of people are in jobs that they don't want to work out of fear not being able to provide for their family, out of fear not being able to find something better. They don't think that they can, they don't believe that they can, and that fear alone keeps you in a stagnant place. I call it treadmilling, and you sit there and you just go in the same circle every day in and day out and day in and day out, and can't figure out why you're not going anywhere. And it's fear because you're scared to do something different that may bring you a different result. And also people that are afraid to leave their city. They're afraid to leave the place that they were born. A lot of people do fear what goes on outside of the city that they're born in. I know a lot of St. Louis people that fear leaving St. Louis. They think that something outside of here is going to get them or something. And I want to give a shout out to the people that have overcame their fear and left and did greater and better things. Praise to you and salute to you because you tackled that fear, and a lot of us haven't tackled that fear because it's a lot of us here that still want to leave, but we fear of not knowing the next, not knowing what's going to be next. Big praise to my friend Val. He's always living in that uncomfortable zone of you can't be afraid to do what you have to do in this world. Sometimes you have to take that leap of faith. Sometimes you have to walk blindly somewhere and trust in your own self. And not nothing nobody else has taught you and not nothing nobody else has showed you, but you have to trust in you and your abilities to get it accomplished. And you have to overcome that fear that you will fail, because Failure is out there, but it's only real failure when you quit trying. Because we will fail on some shit 1,000 times, but if we keep trying to do it, and on that 1,001 time we finally push through and it finally get us that big break or get us what we was looking for, we can't even look at the other things as failure anymore. All we can look at them as just lessons to get me to where I need to be. And that's my thoughts on fear this morning. So thank you for tuning in. As always, it's your boy Beeman. Please leave comments and likes and share and do all that good shit. And if you got anything to add in, please leave it in the comment section below. I love you. Love yourself. Remember, protect your heart and your genitals out here, because everybody's not playing on your level.